Hello, hello. Welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XI. So today, I figured I'd start off here in Adeline, just showing you that I picked up a Rakaznar Simulacrum. I've never done the Skirmish for Rakaznar, so I'd like to do it. So we might start off with that, but first, we're gonna step over to Port Juno and pick up our Afterglowed Ragnarok. We'll have a fully upgraded Rima weapon, which is, of course, the abbreviation of Relic, Empyrean, Mythic, and Aeonic weapons, and someone added Dynamis Divergence crafted weapons to it and said it should be called Dream weapons now. But somebody else was like, well, we gotta add in the Voracious Resurgence weapons, the Prime weapons, so they just keep adding to the thing. But anyway, bada bing, bada boom. Ha! It's as I've always said, a more competent smith you'll not find nowhere else. Go ahead, give it a swing. Obtain the Ragnarok. And when we put that on, because it's fully upgraded with Afterglow, we get a glowing aura around us to show that we have a fully upgraded thing. And it actually just directly tells you what the Aftermath does now, because the Aftermath was just like 5% critical hit rate before this, but now the Aftermath is accuracy plus 15, critical hit rate plus 10%. I don't remember what Afterglow exactly gives from relics. The Afterglow from relics, mythics, and Empyreans, it's like a small stat boost to everyone in your party for the duration of your Aftermath. But yeah, the enhances critical hit rate 5 there. That's plus 14% critical hit rate. And obviously with the Aftermath, we'll have plus 24% critical hit rate. So, I mean, like, we're feeling pretty good. Like, we're, you know, we're gonna have like a 31% or higher critical hit rate in our TP setup. So, yeah. And we're gonna be swinging fast with it. We can also now make double light with Scourge, right? Because all we have to do is Scourge, Resolution, Scourge, and then we will do double light. Yeah, it's pretty great. And let's look at our accuracy, shall we? The food we've got on is behemoth steak, so let's see. So we've got 1195 accuracy like this. Not amazing, but I mean, we're not exactly geared amazing, so. But more than enough for our purposes. That means with Aggressor, we're going to break 1200 accuracy. Pretty good. Pretty good. And of course, the Ragnarok still has the hidden effect that the first attack out of the attack round has like a 18% chance to deal 2.5 times normal damage. So we're going to be seeing some big fucking hits happen here and there. Trying to remember. Okay. So let's go do Rakaznar Skirmish. I don't think that this isn't an Alluvion Skirmish, because I believe that there is no Alluvion Skirmish for Rakaznar. Maybe I should look it up too, just in case. Let's see, Rakaznar. And of course, we're gonna get there by using the warps. Yeah, if you try to make an Alluvion Skirmish key item for this, then the guy who makes the simulacrums in Eastern Adeline, he just says, I can't put this together. You know, nothing like this could ever be put together by anyone or something. And I'm not sure why that is. I just don't know if they just never developed an Alluvion Skirmish for Rakaznar, or if, you know, other content just superseded doing that, or if that's possibly why all the like Sortie and Odyssey stuff takes place in Rakaznar, because that's what the Alluvion Skirmish was going to be. So they decided to like change it or something. Yeah, after this we'll go back to getting into the really cracking open the Voracious Resurgence. I'm not sure how much like power we need to do that, because if it takes place after Rhapsodies, and you have to have finished Rhapsodies to even start it, then like we might be in trouble. Let's see. I'm gonna use Shikarizi. I feel like using Shikarizi today. We don't have a Puru access still, so we're gonna want like a slightly more balanced setup, I guess. So we have to get, what did it say, 50 Finestral fragments? Huh. Breathless Clansman and a Noed extension. That's all we see. And the enemies are far away. Might as well begin meditating. I think these are probably going to be Falmers, I would imagine. Falmers are really common in this kind of... Oh, no, they're skeletons. Okay, well, either way, they're undead. They're not demons, so... Okay, with Blood Rage, I think we have like a 51% critical hit rate, almost, or 41% until we get our Aftermath going. We obtained one Finestral Fragment from that. That's, that's no bueno. Yeah, we'll just get the next one. Oh shit, does our Aftermath actually last a long time now? Burnished Mimic, huh? I wasn't ready to fight Mimics. Oh wow, if the Aftermath lasts a long time now, then dude, that's gonna be fucking phenomenal. I love this thing. Dude, that's totally a Marilith. Just get up already. Like, this is cool that this is happening, but I would almost prefer that you were just available to attack from the get-go. Colin scores a critical hit. The Impervious Marilith takes 3,418 damage. Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, hey, look, drop point. Oh, and an intense amount of gravity. That's not cool. I wonder if they'll ever let us have a full alliance of trust. Like, I know that you can. I think you can. With real players, like, you just need, I think, a minimum of 4 players or something like that, and you make a party with 2 people, and then make an alliance between 4 people, and then you have the 2 people disband or like leave the party. So the alliance is still there, but it's only between 2 people. Then they form their own party, and you make a Finestral Boom. But yeah, basically you make a third party with those 2 people that left, and then you have an alliance, right? And then after that, each party leader can summon their own trust, and I think you can make an alliance that way, but I actually don't know. I've never played with enough people to see if that's possible. Of course, even if it is, I believe most of the in-game content these days is 6-man only, so they wouldn't let you. They won't even let you like summon trusts, because like you'd have to enter with 6 people, and that is a Blue Flame Ironclad. That could be a problem. Let's fight. Unwavering Ironclad, eh? Alright there, Budrow. We're gonna give you the, oh, we're not gonna give you the, you have an Amnesia Aura? Question mark? So we start with Scourge. And then we Resolution. And he doesn't have enough HP for us to even get a light skill chain off of it. Sad panda. I wish Warrior could use Sword Cleaver. Tell you what's gonna even be more badass about this sword is that when I use it on Dark Knight, and I guess Paladin as well, they have access to Tor Cleaver, and so I'll be able to do things like, you know, Tor Cleaver, which is Light Slash Distortion, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken, but if I'm mistaken, let me know. I'm pretty sure Tor Cleaver is Light Slash Distortion, so you can do stuff like Tor Cleaver, Scourge, and that'd make Fusion, and then you can close it with Resolution and make Light, and then close it with Tor Cleaver again for double Light. I think. Don't quote me on that. I just happen to know skill chain properties, and so my brain is always more than happy to be like, ooh, you could make this skill chain, ooh, you could make that skill chain. Of course, I'm not the best skill chain knowledge guy, because like, level 1 skill chains, like, I don't know what into what makes what. Because level 1 skill chains are fucking weird. They, like, one that I do know because it's in the Red Mage guide is like Burning Blade and Shining Blade back to back make liquefaction, and level 1 skill chains, they count as only like one skill chain property or something like that. So like you can actually do 6 level 1 skill chains back to back before you run out of being able to link skill chains for increased skill chain damage. But the thing about that is that by the time you get to the 6th liquefaction, or the 6th skill chain, then the block for the skill chain damage basically resets, and so like the 7th one acts as though it's a second, right? So you start building the enhanced skill chain damage back pretty much, and so that's considered an endless loop. If you could get TP fast enough, you could just do Burning Blade, Shining Blade back to back, and just endlessly make liquefaction. Of course, I don't, even with like insane amounts of magic attack bonus and whatever modifiers those use, I don't think you'd be doing like optimal damage that way. It's just an option that like Red Mage or any sword job has that has those weapon skills. And that's just one example of level 1 skill chains. Like level 1 skill chains are deceptively good. Oh, Yitzhak! How about that? Buddy. Want to get some McDonald's? Scourge doing 14,000 damage, I'll take it. Ooh, followed by a critical hit for 4,000? Jesus! Tomlin's Bruiser now. Is it casting something ridiculous? Well, we're up to 42 out of 50. We might actually succeed, I suppose. Yeah, imagine if we'd had this kind of power when we fought Cloud of Darkness, though. Like, if we had the ability to critical hit and do 4,000 damage on an auto attack. Like, I know we didn't have that much problem with it when we went Unga Bunga on it with Greatsword and Dark Knight subjob. But just like, I don't know, this is the kind of stuff that makes me question whether or not the niggling is actually worthwhile on Warrior. Like, Fencer builds are apparently all the rage. Particularly in, I think it's, I don't know which event it is, but there's an event that makes it so you don't have a sub job. It might be Odyssey. But you don't have a sub job, and so like people have been like trying to make use of Fencer because it's really good. And I guess maybe without sub job, like two-handed weapons on Warrior do a little bit worse. I don't know. Tell me things, audience members. One of you mentioned in the comment the other day, I should just go look at who it is, because I haven't been getting very many comments, and I should just be able to say who it is. brain doesn't work. No, come on, come here, laptop. We're looking this up. But I've been commenting on the episode where we finished Rhapsodies. I had been wondering if Watchdog worth. Ooh, don't mind if I do. Give me some. Let's see. Just do Scourge off of that. Okay, let's see. No, we don't want to listen to that. Alright, Jason Brown, yeah. He said that job points did come out before Rhapsodies. So I wonder how many groups of players actually had like 2100 job points when they killed Cloud of Darkness as a party. Of course, I think weapon skill calculations were still different or whatever. Man, is this burn gonna kill us? We better find a, Do I got my Bathy Choker anywhere? It has like regen +2 on it. I might be able to slow it down enough. It might wear off before we die. It'd be really embarrassing to just drop dead here. Oh dear, I don't think my Bathy Choker's... Okay, we're fine. Whew. But yeah, Jason Brown, yeah, he said that job points... Yeah, they came out before Rhapsodies finished, so... I'm sure there was plenty of people playing that probably didn't get Master Job, or yeah, Master Job before they beat Cloud of Darkness though. It's a long grind. Like, I know I haven't really been working on it, but you know, just the fact that like we've got, you know, 125 or more, and it's just like there's just so much more to get. Like. Hey there, buddy. Oh, we've got 54 out of 100 now, eh? I guess that means we could technically end. Alright, we don't have to like keep doing this. I was thinking about redoing my merit weapon skills too. I put 5-5 in Tachi Shoha, and 5-5 in Resolution, and 5-5 in Last Stand. And I love Last Stand, but I was thinking like, every Corsair I see these days, they look like they focus on the Savage Blade build with a Niggling. And then the ones who aren't focused on the Savage Blade build are focused on magic damage builds for Lead and Salute or Wildfire. And I don't have Wildfire yet, but like, if Last Stand isn't being geared for, like if it's not something expected, and like just also the fact that like the best bullets for physical damage, they come from, well, and for magical damage. They come from, I don't know if it's the Empyrean gun or if it's the Relic. It can't be the Relic gun. It's gotta be the Empyrean gun. By the way, we don't have access to the best bullets anyway. So like, but we do have enabling, obviously. So I don't know. I kind of think I should like, I don't know, take merits out of Last Stand and put them into something else. And I was thinking about getting Stardiver for Samurai and Dragoon. Mainly for Dragoon, but it's also good for Warrior from what I've heard. Of course, those aren't the only options, but... Come on, Amnesia, we're off. Everyone's been terrorized. And how many Finestral things did it give us? 12? Okay. I guess if we can run into more of those, more big monsters, we can get to 100 pretty easy. Yeah, Stardiver is actually a really cool weapon skill. It's also really strong. It's strength modifier, and it also inflicts a debuff, critical hit evasion down. Which apparently there's some gimmick bosses these days where if you inflict a status ailment on them of any type, then they get like a huge buff and enrage on you basically. And like, it doesn't have to even be an important debuff. It could be like something stupid, like movement speed down on a stationary boss. Because like, Rudra's Storm on Dagger is like the best dagger weapon skill in the game, and it inflicts weight. It inflicts gravity, I think. And you can't use it on some bosses because it'll cause them to go apeshit. And Stardiver's actually kind of got that sadness about it. But it's gravitation property, just like Impulse Drive, and like 4 hits, and just really strong. It's basically like Resolution for spears, more or less. And I heard it only gets better when you get like the pole arm from Ambuscade, the shining one. The shining one can cause it to critical hit. But, I don't know. I also thought about getting rid of Tachishoha. I actually don't know how much I'm going to play Samurai. I have that merited because I want to start working on the Mythic Great Katana as like a tribute to my mom. That really only makes sense to me, but... That's why we do things. We do them because we want to, and because it makes sense to us as individuals. Wish a Noetic Ascension had offered us a map. Yeah, I'm definitely keeping resolution though. And if we play long enough, one of the monthly rewards eventually will let us merit more weapon skills. You actually get key items that let you have more weapon skill points. So eventually you can have 5 weapon skills instead of 3, fully merited, fully upgraded, fully sexy. And that's pretty cool. Oh, but she messed up my skill chain. Oh, I will. She made up for it by casting Stone on me. I love Shikrizi. Hey! Hey! You call that Sinestral Fragments? You slut. If we don't start running into a lot of enemies or another like ironclad or something here shortly, I'll probably just use the Finestral key and get out of here. All the umbrellas. Oh, there's an Orthrus over there. Come here, Orthrus. I was gonna do Scourge, but then I saw that detonator go off. Did the detonator even hit though? It did. Okay, that would have made light. Because the Orthrus didn't have enough HP. We just need 7 more. 7 more Fenestral thingies. I wonder how they decided on the animation for Meditate. Like having, you know, multicolored like aura go around you to represent TP going up is kind of cool. Just like covered in an iridescent glow. That end. Yeah, if we do, I think it's Odyssey. We can augment the Ragnarok further through the Domain Invasion NPC, I believe, or somewhere. We can augment it further, and it'll also get increased Scourge damage as well. And Scourge needs all the help it can get. Like, even though its modifiers got changed to be Strength and Vitality, it's still relatively weak compared to everything else we've got on Greatsword. Even on Warrior, like, Ground Strike, you know, especially at higher TP values, is much stronger weapon skill. Yeah, I guess we could use Ground Strike and Scourge and then Resolution to do a 3-step. Although I don't know, with doing Ground Strike and then Scourge, would the Fragmentation interact with the Fusion before the Fusion interacts with the Distortion? Ground Strike is the opener? I guess I'll have to try that out. I should know the answer already, but I don't. Man, did we run out of enemies? Am I just like running in circles now and like... wasting time? That's what you say. Good boss, you're playing an MMO, of course you're wasting time. So, like, we keep running into the same noetic ascensions. So... oh, there we go. I guess maybe you just gotta leave, like, a certain distance and then stuff respawns, or maybe it's all on timers. I don't know. I got no clue. We're gonna find out the riddle. Well, not the riddle, but the, Stop on me and give me amnesia? He's not. There's Ground Strike. And there's Scourge. And the answer is the primaries. Yeah, okay, so... yeah. I guess that means that my idea for Torque Lever won't work either, will it? Sad panda. They're killing us! They're killing us! Okay, I think we're gonna be okay. Maybe. Sorta, kinda, in a way. Alright, let's use our Finestral Key and get the hell out of here. Freight Sack of Horror. And a Eudaemon Sash. And a key item, Vial of Transmelange. Okay, well, I guess we use our farewell flies and get out of here now. Not sure what all those freight sacks are full of. Probably stuff we don't actually need, but we'll find out. My guess would be Wailing Stones, +1 and +2 for the Sacks of Horror. But I'm not really sure. Also, I don't think there was a row objective for that skirmish, was there? Of course, if there was, it wasn't on, so... let's see. Yep, nope. Unless it's in the content? Under the content tab, I said. Combat Adeline, maybe? Oh no, that's just conflict that we've got. Huh. Let's see. Oh, verdigris stones, huh? Ghastly stones. The Dead Made Manifest. Yep, Wailing Stones. Yeah, this is where you would get... I guess, Rokaznar is where you get the upgrade items for the initial skirmish weapons that, you know, went up to +2. Are kind of almost as good as the Alluvion skirmish weapons, but, like, not really. Yep, that's exactly what they are. They had a campaign where, recently, where you get better augments for those, but the campaign's no longer going on. So, I don't think there's any reason to hold on to those. They're also, I think the verdigris stones are used for upgrading the armor, which is like entry level, like worse than the Peacekeepers Coalition's welfare gear armor. You can augment it, and I guess with augments it'd be slightly better than the whatever, you know, but meh. I was mainly doing that for the fun of it. Yeah, I don't think we want the sash either. I do want to go back into Alluvion Skirmish at some point, though, to get a great katana for Samurai. Because I don't really have any good great katanas for Samurai, and the Alluvion Skirmish one is actually really good, so... Samurai's kind of interesting in this day and age. It has pretty damn good physical weapon skill options with Tachi Fudo and all of its other weapon skills having extraordinarily high modifiers. And just, you know, its sheer capabilities for skill chains. Because if you have Tachi Shoha merited even once, then with Great Katana, you have... You have fusion, fragmentation, distortion, and gravitation weapon skill. So you can do darkness or light by yourself. And then with Tachi Fudo, you have a light / distortion weapon skill, so you can do double light by yourself. And that's all without any relics. So, like, pretty cool. Okay, so this cutscene's for Voracious Resurgence. Ah, look who it is. You must be concerned about the Galkan child, too. Well, of course, I'm from Bastok. Of course, I should have known Gumba would worry about me. Between him and the foreman, everyone I've talked to today is concerned for my well-being. They won't even let me further into the mines. It doesn't make any sense. If they're that insistent on looking after me, then why wouldn't they be twice as interested in the young one wandering around unaccompanied? When I pointed that out, Rasmus said, "Oh right, we did see him deeper in." I know, they might not let me proceed, but surely they'd have no qualms about you. Call me Qualmwind, then. Maybe some of the other foremen would know more. Could you ask about the Galkan child and go looking for him? I'll go meet up with Gumba. Best of luck. Alright, so we're we're looking for a Galcan child at the behest of Cornelia, but also for the sexiness that is Cornelia. Oh, we got a Pururu back! Yay, a Pururu! How I've missed you, Pururu. I had to beat a whole entire story mission without you. It was hells, I tell you. Okay, so where's this Rasmus? Dingbat, 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 dingbat. Rasmus. Okay, so he's up to the north. Okay. And apparently it's optional to speak to the foreman. You don't have to speak to them. You could just go to the disturbed dirt at K9. So we gotta talk to Rasmus and Cornelia said something about looking for a Galcan child. That's all well and good, but she really shouldn't be sticking her nose in everyone's business. And then Macarim at H11 has some sort of dialogue. Although, if Macarim's at H11 and we only gotta go to K9, should we even bother talking to Macarim? Yeah, I guess we'll make an exception. You know what? You know what? Do I? I do have a carrier ring, and I didn't put it in my weapon skill setup because I'm a moron. Okay. Well, we can fix that. I don't think it's in my weapon skill setup on Red Mage either. There's straight up a Galca named Smoke Breath. That's just funny. Okay, so the cool thing about the carrier ring is if we run around in our weapon skill setup, we start getting TP very slowly. Dude, Macarim is like all the way the fuck back here. Dear God. At least it's in a separate leg of the mine, I suppose. This is the NPC you come to with his errand report. Hey there, adventurer. What can I do for you? You want to know if I saw a Galcan child? My eyes weren't playing tricks on me. I saw him squatting down on the ground a little bit northeast of here. Do you know who he is? You should go tell him that this is no place for children. Yeah, I'll go tell him. It's especially no place for children now that we've got to deal with, like, soot crabs and, corollary bats and stuff. I'm just building some TP real quick. I think we gotta do a fight. I don't think it's in an instance or anything. I think we're just gonna be spawning things. So I figure, why not get some TP? Oh, we capped out our Unity accolades. I should probably go make some gil with that, especially now that I'm poor again. I really need a better earring. And I'd love to have a better weapon skill ring, too. Although, if we do all of the Voracious Resurgence, the final fight, from what I understand, gives you a choice between some rings that are really, really fucking good. And there's another weapon skill damage ring that will probably just replace any ring we could ever have in our other weapon skill slot, so... Actually, a couple of rings that could replace whatever we have in our slots or whatever. There's also a long quest we can do in Adeline. I think it's the Ignis Directive, where you can get a +1 variety of your Adeline ring. And I think the +1 of the carrier ring is weapon skill damage plus 5%. Might only be 4%. Either way, it's upgrade. We need K9, not J10. We need K9, K9 I say. We need disturbed dirt is what we're looking for. Oh shit, it's that other... We went the wrong leg twice. Man, I'm stupid. So at literally 5 TP per tick, it would take, what? How long to get to 3,000? Well, let's think about how long to get to 1,000, right? It'd take 200 ticks, so 600 seconds. So, what? 10 minutes? I guess it's okay if, like, you gotta go use the restroom or something, and just pop your ring on before you're about to do something, and come back and you'll be ready to TP or whatever. And I guess in any sort of BCNM, if you've got enough of a time limit, you could use that as a way to start with your best foot forward. You wouldn't be breaking any records, of course. How's this still J9? What the fuck? Man. just reach through the screen and slap me, viewer. I should have kept going the way I was going. Yeah, other cool things we get for doing the Voracious Resurgence, though, is like every couple of missions, you get an item called a Mott's Mix. And Mott's Mix gives you 10 job points automatically. So basically, it's worth for the job you're on. So it's basically worth 300,000 capacity points. And that's pretty cool, if you ask me. It only happens a few times. And I think at the very end you get some Matt's Concoction, which... I don't know what that does, I have to look it up, but I think it's even more. Right? Basically, doing the Voracious Resurgence helps you master your job. So... Of course, I think some of the fights are hard enough that you need a master job anyway to do them. So, touch the disturbed dirt at K9 for a cutscene. Okay, so we're at K9, but is it... Man. This isn't even a confusing map. I have been away from 11 for too long. Someone appears to have fallen down here. Who are... Gloom Phantom? He's got a black Ragnarok. Get away from him. You're with them, is it? I'll have to slice you to ribbons. Well, well, well. Black Goblin called Gloom Phantom, huh? 15 minutes to kill him. He actually hit us, so he's item level. Got some cool music going on here. Got the Pononate his ass. Gloom Phantom Rush, huh? Well, I'll serve you up cold there. Okay. This looks like a black goblin to me. Doesn't look like a phantom. Wah wah wah. That didn't go quite as planned. Next time I'll bring all my buddies so you won't get this lucky twice. See you later, suckers. We're getting like all new, brand new music for this? This is pretty cool. Thank you. I don't know what was going to happen to me. Look, there he is. Are you alright? Thanks for everything, Mr. Adventurer. He's shivering. What happened? Well, he got cold. That's what you do when you're cold. A goblin clad in black attacked him? I think you'd better report this incident to the authorities. From what you've described, the goblin went out of his way to target the poor thing. I know you've been through a lot, but can you think of a reason why? No. It's okay, you were really brave. Why don't you come with us? We'll bring you somewhere that no one can hurt you. Raybrim. My name's Raybrim. Nice to meet you, Raybrim. I'm Gumba. Cornelia, let us know if you ever need anything, okay? Thanks for taking care of things, friend. Raybrim, and I guess the two of us, owe you a debt of gratitude. Come visit me later and let us give you a proper thanks. 20,000 gil, hey! I'll take it. And it gave us like a victory jangle, like we were doing a nation mission or something. That's pretty cool. Okay, so... now we have to go talk to Gumba. And then apparently some other shit's gonna happen. Looks like we might have to do a fashion show or something. Suppose it wouldn't be the first time. I wonder what was up to that black Ragnarok the goblin had, though, eh? We worked super hard to get this regular Ragnarok, and a goblin just shows up using a black one? Come on, now. Now, actually, it's sort of a spoiler, but sort of not. I mean, it was advertised when they announced the Voracious Resurgence, but they showed, you know, the Voracious Resurgence, and it showed several different relic weapons, namely the Aegis and the Ragnarok, but solid black instead of gold. And people were wondering if this was going to be another stage for relics, or if they were going to be new. And of course, some people were right, and they actually are new weapons, and they're called the they're called oh god, what are they called? Prime weapons. They're called prime weapons for some reason. And you're forced to make one for the Voracious Resurgence, as far as I'm aware. I don't think you don't have to fully upgrade it. Like, they're not actually fully upgradable yet. But they're basically relic weapons that have another job added to them, like to make sense for modern day, you know, jobs, since the original relic weapons were only available to Rise of the Zillart and base game jobs. So like the Black Ragnarok actually has Rune Fencer on it. Thanks again, Mr. Adventurer. Without you, who knows what that goblin would have done to him, to Raybrim. He's been through a lot and is resting here in the city. He was scuffed up a little, but we expect him to make a swift, safe recovery. Still, don't you think it's a little out of character even for a goblin to attack a child? What's that all about? Ah, Cornelia, were you able to learn anything? I'm afraid I've turned up nothing. I asked the Mithril Musketeers for help, and even though they gladly agreed to look into things, it might take a while before they find out anything concrete. I guess it can't be helped, but it's still pretty frustrating. The goblin might have come after Raybrim again. We've got to be prepared. I agree and come up with the plan. What if we were to disguise Raybrim? Disguise him? Yeah, you know, a little wig here, a little makeup there, and no one will be able to tell that it's him. And if there's anyone who's an expert in making disguises to avoid attention, it's me. Avoid attention? You? The guards have seen through your tricks so many times that I've started to keep a running tally. Well, be that as it may, failure is the first step to success, right? And I know just the fashionista to help us pull this off. How do you know a fashionista? Well, everyone knows Bridget, and I think she owes me a favor. You know how much she values her reputation. If anyone can help us disguise Raybrim, it's her. Why do I have a bad feeling about this? I wouldn't say I have a bad feeling, but there is one small hurdle to climb. She says that she's looking for new entrants in a show that's going to start soon and doesn't have much time to spare for us. That's where you come in. If you can help Bridget with her show, then she'll absolutely have to assist this Calmland. Darn it, she ran off again. Leave it to her to just assume we'll follow this plan to the letter. But I guess we don't have any choice now, do we? I know it's an odd request, but think of it as helping to protect an innocent child. Let's go find Bridget. Well, is the child innocent, or are we just assuming the goblin's being a douchebag? Maybe the Galkan child was like a bad Galka in a prior life or something. You know, they reincarnate, right? So like maybe the goblin has like, you know, he's got a special sword, so maybe he's got like a special way to like, I don't know, see souls or something, and can see that the Galka's got the same soul as he did when he was bad, and so the goblin's gonna take it out on him anyway. I don't know. I mean, that's still not that's still not really good guy behavior, but that's all I've got. Let's see. Uh-oh, I'm already seeing stuff on the wiki page that's saying that there's long cutscenes, and it takes more than 5 minutes, even if you're just botting your way through the cutscene with bot programs to get you through cutscenes faster. Jesus Christ. What is wrong with the Final Fantasy XI player base? Ugh. But before we take the bridge, we actually got some clothes we gotta get. And I don't know if we're gonna actually get to choose this person or what. But let's see. Basically, what we're gonna have to do is dress up like an NPC, and so we're gonna have to turn style lock off, I think. So we're gonna disable our style lock. We still look pretty cool, if you ask me. But yeah, Bridget's gonna have us dress in stupidity. And what this really is, I'm guessing, is more of like a trip down memory lane, because this NPC was involved in the level 50 JSE bodies that you got from Promethea areas, and she made you dress up in stupid ways back then too, in order to be able to trade in your subligars that you would farm from Fulmunia aqueducts. And then, in exchange for dressing up how she wanted you to, she'd give you, and you trade her the subligar, and she'd give you your JSE top. Oh look, another adventurer in desperate need of my most accurate fashion advice. Tell me, what can the stylist extraordinaire Bridget recommend for you? She really is. She's just a little girl. What the fuck? No, don't answer that, for I already know why you've come. My catwalk could use a model just like yourself. What kind of show? I'm convinced all the movers and makers in Bastock to assist me in holding the most amazing fashion show the city, no, all of Vanadale has ever seen. The city is hoping that this initiative will help stimulate the local economy, bringing in people from far and wide to spin, spin, spin. You see, fashion does not discriminate between creed or place of origin. I firmly believe that there is an outfit for everyone. But I'm having trouble finding people to lend themselves to the cause. If I didn't know better, I'd think people were mistaking my honest critiques for cruel barbs hurled by an uncaring judge. Yet fashion can at times be uncompromising, and that's where you come in. Assist me, and I promise that I'll come up with a perfect disguise for your friend Raybrim. After all, if I can't help you, then who can? Perfect, then let's get right down to business. The official name of this show is the First Annual Bridget Cosplay Fiesta. Let me know if you want to hear more. But here's what I want you to do in the short term. Decide on someone after whom you want to model your costume. This is going to be the best fashion show ever. Okay, so this costume show is going to be the talk of town for months, and here's how it's going to work. If you listen to my explanation well and decide on someone spectacular to dress as, there's no way anything will go wrong. Who can I dress as? The first thing you have to know is that the wonderful Bridget believes that good sense transcends all races and genders, so what's important is the costume itself. If a Taratara male wants to mimic a Mithra, that's A-OK in my book. However, this particular show really focuses on particularly famous people from here in the city, so I want you to mimic certain individuals. No choosing some random hick from over in Rabayo. It's only common sense. Where's the fun in dressing up as someone that nobody's ever heard of? And it pains me to say this, but some of the best choices have already been taken by other participants. So let's get down to the full list of potential selections. First up is Azima, the esteemed master of alchemy. Next is Naji, the famed mithril musketeer. Also available is Black Mud, a salesperson most popular. Another option is Mekia, an elven goldsmith with a work ethic of gold. Finally, we've got Nabu Late, whose fashion sense is second to none. Okay, I've decided, and we're gonna go with Nabu Late, because that's the cheapest one. Okay, so basically, we've got to go win this fashion show now, and to do that, we have to copy the person exactly. And to copy her exactly, we just got to put this on. We don't care about having weapons on, so I think we just unequip weapons. And boom, we have now officially copied Nabu Late. And so now we just got to go to the Steaming Sheep Restaurant in Port Bastock. That's like Home Point 3 or something. Port Bastock, I think. So we're dressing up like a noob. Oh, a boot scoot boy. Pardon me, my air conditioning is getting me to be too cold. Let's see if I can get over here without unplugging my mic and turn it off. It's been running all day, and now that it's almost 3 a.m., it must be lonely, yeah. No, I mean, okay, so we're in Steaming Sheep, and who do we talk to? Ruinda, huh? Did we just run by her? We did just run by her. Ready to go, baby. Okay. Who the hell's that supposed to be? Wow, what a performance. Yes, words absolutely fail at how your outfit accentuates your, curves. Well, a job well done, even though I would normally hope for something a little more family-friendly. Ladies and gentlemen, things are really starting to heat up in today's events, with people coming from far and wide to show all Bastock that they've got what it takes to become our champion. Who will be next to take the stage and wow us with their devastatingly accurate and altogether embarrassing representation of famous Bastockers? Hey, I don't think embarrassing is the best word to use here. Our next 3 contestants are ready to take the stage. Here they come, so give them a big round of applause. Yes, feast your eyes on these wonderful reimaginings of real-life stars. Ogle them from head to toe and take in every last nook and cranny of their delectable forms. Ogle? Delectable? Is that Naji dressed up as someone else? Is that supposed to be Zaid? You all did fantastic jobs. I would have mistaken you for the real thing. Let's cut out now to the judges and see what their frank assessments are. Judges, take it away. Oh, I can't believe that someone would actually choose Azuma, perhaps the stuffiest woman in all of Bastock. When I see your stunning profile as wrinkled and gnarled as the old oak tree mere moments before it fell by the lumberjack, I think back on my own mother. May she rest in peace. What you blabbering about, talking about me like I'm some old hag? Why, if it isn't the esteemed Azuma herself, here to give us her frank assessment of our challenger. Oh no, you don't escape that easily, young lady. I heard every word you said. No, don't hurt me. I'm just providing some color commentary. I suppose I could give you an honest opinion. Is that fucking Deeganhard? Try learning some respect for your elders. Got the fire in her eyes, obviously a reflection of the pile of hot garbage she sees before her. Hey, I did my best. And yet another catastrophic failure abandons the stage. Azuma's biting tongue remains too much to bear. I can't believe youngsters these days. Don't let this put a damper on your spirits, folks, for the show must go on. Feast your eyes on our next model, a true sight to behold. Why, look at the aura of loserness emanating from him, absolutely true to the original. Can't you be a little more positive? Let's hear it from our female judges. Hilda? Is that Nachi? Wow, she really thinks that's Nachi. The costume must be perfect. Hey Ken, you're finally starting to sound like a real MC. Well, given how much you've talked over me across the years, I've got some unfortunate news. Naji was scheduled to give a few words, but I'm afraid he can't be here today. Oh no, what a terrible turn of events. But our audience remains unfazed by this unexpected twist. It's someone just like him is right up there on the stage. You mean to say that our contestant is close enough to the real Naji? Or to put it another way, everything would have turned out the same with or without Naji here. I don't think you should be putting words in her mouth. Anyway, thank you, Naji. I'm sure your efforts will be reflected in your final score. Next, we've got Ack. Zaid. Amazing costume. This is clearly the pinnacle of mankind's achievement. You don't know how difficult it was to get a hold of this rare equipment. All that mithril set me back an arm and a leg. Mithril? You do cut an impressive pose to be sure, but there's something about you that isn't quite Zaid-like. Hey, your lack of pants for one. Oh yes, now that's more like the Zaid I know. This costume is absolutely perfect. You should follow this young man's lead and make your Zaid outfit more like his. You there, I'm enlisting you to our little show. Come up on the stage. Yes, you, come on. Being asked to participate in such a wonderful show is quite the honor. Get your rear and gear. I just came here to talk to Ogby. Of course. What Ogby thinks of your outfit is quite important indeed, so take the stage and hear just what he thinks of your getup. Poor Zaid. Ogby, I'd really prefer to talk someplace quieter. So, judges, what do you have to say about this magnificent Zaid costume? I don't think I've ever seen a more impressive Zaid. Everything is just as it should be. The way you walk, the way you talk, it's uncannily close to the real thing. Wherever did you get such wonderful equipment? It's absolutely marvelous. I don't think the real Zaid is supposed to be in Bastok right now. Why, even Ogby is fooled by the realism that our new contestant exudes. Spectacular. Why, Zaid-alike, I think our judges are beyond impressed by the extent of your efforts. What the heck is going on? It's like you're actually him. Well, I'd love to be able to chit-chat with you more, Zaid-alike. We got some more contestants to get through. Without further ado, here's our next challenger, Naboo Latte. Why, this is the costume to end all costumes. Look at how he positively gleams with radiance. I bet our maven of fashion, Bridget, is brimming with pride at how you've really helped bring the show together. I'm quite impressed at how you've made the Naboo Latte really come to life. Yes, it's astounding. Perhaps it's because you share a bond as adventurers. Naboo Latte is an adventurer, really? In the flesh, she's as fast as a famished chocobo and never lets prey elude her. That's odd. I heard stories from the guards that... You know what? Forget I said anything. Thank you for your assessment, judges. Normally we'd ask Naboo Latte to come say a few words herself, but she's a bit tied up at the moment. So instead, we've got her fan club here to comment on her behalf. Hello, I'm Merlita, here on behalf of my mother. Oh, aren't you the cutest thing? I could gobble you up right up. Maybe I should trade my brother for you. That wouldn't be so bad. If I do a really good job, she said she'll give me some candy, so I'll try my hardest. Oh, how precious and well-behaved you are. We might just have some cookies for you, too. Baked fresh by Hilda herself. Why, I would even give my brother for one of those chewy delights. Again, that doesn't sound half bad. Mr. Adventurer, thanks for doing so well. That's all. That's right, everyone. Looks like our cute little friend is done for now. A big round of applause. I was watching the whole time, Calm Wind. must have been tough coming up with your outfit, but I think you did a great job. Bridget was pleased too, so she's sure to help us get a really great disguise for Raybrim. Thanks for participating today. We're still tallying up the judges' scores, so hang out just a little while longer. Even those who didn't place highly will receive a token reward from Bridget herself, so be sure to connect with her soon. Take care. I've got to head out myself. See you shortly. Okay, so now we just gotta go back to Bridget. So far I'm digging this music that they're adding in. It's like all wind flute for Voracious Resurgence. Talk to Bridget. And then what? Okay. I don't know if we gotta take the keep the stuff on or not, but we can always take it off after we talk to Bridget. So oddly, I don't remember her being this far down, but it's been years. I don't think I did any JSC acquisition on Calm Wind. I didn't even get the Swift Belt. I left that part of history. I said I was gonna, and then I never did that part of history because I wound up buying that earnest sash for cheap. I'm impressed and even a little bit surprised at how much you helped my show be a rousing success. You must be dying to know what the final score was, no doubt, and I got that information in hand right now. Your score reflects not only the authenticity of the outfit itself, but also how much you were able to get the crowd's blood pumping. Let's see how you did. Placed 2 out of however many contestants we had. Pretty good. Many of our participants got a bit too caught up in the technicalities of their outfits and completely forgot that attitude and demeanor are a huge part of what makes the fashion world go round. How well you did isn't really what matters. I've got a reward for you just the same. Be healthy and stay happy. I'm sure you must be curious about Raybrim. Don't worry, I intend to fulfill my promise. I've got the perfect disguise that'll fool even the most astute of goblins. But a picture is worth 1,000 words, no? Hold on just a moment. No way you'll be... Okay. I'm sure that'll work. I'm sure that'll be Oh, I'm too easily entertained, I suppose. Let's see, I think we could get in one more Voracious Resurgence quest. We just gotta go back and talk to Gumba now. And then, go some other places, do some other things. Let's see, it says talk to Gumba for a cutscene, head to Koralaka Tunnel, Drew's Air on Mines, or via the survival guide. Interact with the stalagmite targetable location in Koralaka Tunnel on D9 of map 1 for a cutscene. Okay. Looks like we'll have to fight Gloom Phantoms again. Shouldn't be too bad. And I can't believe I have an Afterglowed relic. Never thought I'd get one of those, that's for sure. They actually came out with Afterglow at the 99 cap before item level was a thing, but the requirements to get it were absolutely, like, ridiculously insane. Like 250 Umbral Marrow from Archdynamis Lord. Insane. It's your adventure. You remember our friend Raybrim, right? The Galcan child in the unforgettable goblin getup? Of course. Oh good, I'm glad to hear that your mind is sound. I've got some news on the black-clad goblin that was threatening him. Evidently, we've been able to learn about where the menace was headed next. Cornelia asked the Mithril Musketeers for their help in tracking the beastman down, and I'm pleased to report that they agreed to aid us. Gumba, I'm back. Oh, and look who's with you. Calm Wind, your timing is impeccable, as always. I wanted to share this with both of you. Iron Eater, if you would. How could I say no to that face? We Mithril Musketeers have worked tirelessly to gather information on your little goblin problem. While we haven't identified who exactly that little beastie is, we do know that a strange goblin was seen flitting about the market, starting from shadow to shadow in an attempt to avoid detection. I would imagine that a goblin dressed in black from head to toe would arouse some amount of suspicion. Aye, and surely we would have heard more reports that the beast moved via ordinary means, but his modes of transportation are a bit more arcane, which would explain why he is able to mostly avoid detection in his search for Raybrim. The good news is that Bridges' disguise seems to be working, because Raybrim remains unharmed. In fact, that's why we have any information at all. The goblin must be getting desperate and resorting to more overt means of tracking its quarry, and just now we got word that someone matching his description was spotted in Koralaka Tunnel. That's great news. Is it really? I mean, we haven't exactly stopped his advance. Fear not, we have no intention of letting him walk. In fact, I ordered Nagy to go after him post-haste. And by we, I mean the Mithril Musketeers. Miss Cornelia, you are to remain within the city walls. You're going to let Nagy take the lead and make me stay here? No way, I've got to see this through to its conclusion. I share your distaste at letting Nagy run point. He is a Mithril Musketeer, unreliable though he may be. Still, I agree it couldn't hurt to send backup of some sort. Adventurer, I'd wager you're more than willing to volunteer. What a splendid idea. Most assuredly, we've got to let Raybrim know that we will do anything to ensure his safety. We're counting on you, Calmwind. Huh. It's a shame that their dialogue towards us doesn't just have Iron Eater call us by name. I mean, he knows who we are, right? We're ranked 10 Bastock, and we've done Steel Cyclone WS&M quest. So Iron Eater actually knows us intimately, right? Like, we have his trust. So I don't know why they're not giving us cool dialogue for him, but yeah, whatever. You know, I had a video a few videos ago. I say a few, I don't remember exactly how many ago it was, but I think I ended the video by going and unlocking Meeble Burrows. And I said oh yeah, I'm gonna do Meeble Burrows off screen so I can learn the blue magic from the Meebles that I need or whatever. I never did that. I haven't been working on Meeble Burrows at all. Tears of the Kingdom came out, and then Final Fantasy 16 came out. I've done Jack and Dick in 11. Before Tears of the Kingdom came out, I was slaying jobs. I was getting the 99. I was going absolutely ham. And then Tears of the Kingdom came out, and I started playing it, and then I just fell into a pit of playing other games. And that's really how it should be. You shouldn't let an MMO take over your life. You should enjoy other games. You know, it's not bad to play an MMO every day and make it your main game. But it's also not, you know, it's not a bad idea to you know, have fun and branch out and experience new games. Okay, so we're gonna have to fight the goblin again, but this time he's gonna have backup. And so we're gonna want some sort of good trust setup going on here. I've heard, or it says on the wiki that Archangel Tarotaru can sleep them, and we might like having that. Of course, I don't know what'll go off first. The Lineral's insistence on using Uriel Blade or Sleepka 2, but we'll see what happens. I'm not really worried either way. It's like warrior and a red mage and a paladin. They've only got like maybe 30,000 health, so we gotta take them out in like a single resolution apiece or something. We've gotta go touch the stalagmite at D9. So Boom! Hey buddy, you know how you remember when you aggroed me when I started this character a whole bunch? I remember when you aggroed me when I started this character a whole bunch. Okay. Stalagmite. Alright. Well, if it isn't Calm Wind, get a load of this. Found your goblin. It turns out that he's got some friends. Dude, that's a watermelon mandragora and a meeble. There's a meeble and a mandragora. A rather stylish mandragora, for lack of a better word. So there were 3 of them. Who's there? I know you're a little jumpy, but please get a hold of yourself. This is no place for children. Why aren't you back in the city? I'm the one who's being hunted down, so I would say it's only natural for me to be curious as to the reason. Ah, so you're Raybrim then. That explains the why, but not the how. Well. Count my gobby stars. How nice you come sneaking up on us. I Gloom Phantom. Mag Bihu Dasbog. And our group is the Destiny Destroyers. Our mission? Slice you to ribbons. Okay. Seems legit, I suppose. We'll start with Dasbog. Oh, is he the paladin? Oh, shit. Wonder if the line roll hasn't done the thing yet. Oh, they're skill chaining on me. What? A stylish Manticore as the Red Mage. I guess that makes sense. No play fair. Gotta admit that Black Ragnarok looks pretty sick. We could even call it the Black No Rock. No, be so lucky next time. Yeah, I've heard it all before. You'll pay for what you've done under the heavy hand of Bastoken justice, and you will spit out who you are and why you're here after an innocent child. Egg. Egg! I smell it. The egg. I know you hiding egg. Egg? Did you bring an egg sandwich or something, Grey Brim? No, they may be talking about this. When I awoke from my rebirth, I looked down to see this eggshell-like object in the palm of my hand. Hey! I'm more than happy to part with it, seeing as it's important to you. Was that really a good idea? It's an easy sacrifice that will get them to leave me alone. I had a bad feeling about that eggshell ever since I laid eyes on it. Where you get it, you tell us now. Weren't you listening? Huh? Hang on, it's all coming back to me. It was at the base of a large mountain shrouded in incredible darkness. A large mountain? Like a volcano or something? But you said you had it on you when you were reborn. You mean you come on a volcano? Yikes. Reborn. I remember the sweltering heat beating down on my shoulders. I passed through this tunnel and made my way to Bastok. All by yourself? The bad thing hatched? Zepwell? Tailkeeper knows. Could it be my memories from before my rebirth? We no need you anymore. No more talking, and bye-bye. Get your butts back here! Now this is some shenanigans. I finally feel free, both of my pursuers and of that dreadful goblin get-up. Maybe I can finally be a normal Galcan child. Calmwind, you have my gratitude. I know Gumba and Cornelia went above and beyond to keep me safe, so I'll be sure to show them my appreciation as well. I'll head back for Bastok, and it feels good to do so without fear. Okay, well, apparently we gotta go back to Gumba for our reward now. So, we might as well just use a warp ring, right? Like, there's no reason to not just warp back, so. And for this, we'll get our first Mats mix. And that'll end part 1 of the Voracious Resurgence, I suppose. The next part apparently takes place in Windurst. Oh joy. Doesn't look fun either. But we won't be doing that today, I don't think, because we're pretty much, you know, we've made this video long enough, eh? Alright, Gumba. Give me my reward. Raybrim filled us in on what happened. You have my sincere thanks. But Gloom Phantom, eh? What a straightforward moniker. Three of them call themselves the Destiny Destroyers. Well, at least their naming sense is on point. I've known beastmen to be a bit odd, but an egg hunt? Something tells me they don't simply want initial eggs. That's a reference to the Easter event that goes on in 11 every year, where you collect eggs that have letters on them. Calm Wind, I heard that everything went well. You're just the person I want to see too. There's something I don't quite understand. Cornelia, did something happen? Well, it's about Naji. He hasn't returned to file his report. It's well past time for him to make his way back to the city. He went after the three. The three, you mean the Goblin and friends? Well, while his desire to get to the heart of the matter is commendable, that doesn't change the fact that he left the Galkan child behind. Is my controller fucking up? Nor did he send word back of his intentions. I hope everything's okay. What if he was hurt or captured? No, others have already reported seeing him back in the city with no apparent injuries. Until he reports in, I suppose I'll have to ask you, Gumba, to get the full story from Raybrim. Of course, I'll get to him right away. Come when there's something that's been bothering me. What exactly was the deal with that egg, or eggshell, I suppose? I suppose you'd rather not talk about it. Maybe you think I'm just some girl in over my head like everyone else. Cornelia, the conclusion we came to is that the goblin wasn't after the eggshell itself, but rather a whole egg. They were trailing Raybrim because they caught the scent of it, but what they found was just the shell of what they thought it would be. That's the lamest pun I've ever heard. I couldn't resist. Perhaps that mystery will have to wait for later, and we'll have to content ourselves with Raybrim's freedom. You're right. Calm Wind, we'll let you know if we hear anything else. As will the Mithril Musketeers. Naji's heart is in the right place. I'd like to give you something other than just platitudes for your efforts. Me too, it's a special recipe favored by my extended family. Until next time. Wait a second. Mats and Cornelia's extended family? What the fuck? And 12 omelet sandwiches. That's pretty nice. That's really good tank food. Gives you accuracy, defense, enmity, everything you need, and HP, everything you need to take hits in the face. Alright, Mats mix. Bada bing, bada boom. Calm Wind just gets 10 job points. Bada bing, bada boom. I like it. So that'll let us increase whatever effect we want, really. I guess we could grab another aggressor or another berserk. Or several retaliations, I suppose. Or several of those, or maybe several couple restraints. Either way, it's not that big of a thing. And yeah, I guess I'm just gonna end it here. I don't know when I'll record another one. Probably soon. I mean, I'm kind of interested in this new storyline. But apparently the next portion of it takes place in Windurst. And that was the end of part 1. It looks like at the end of each part we're gonna get a Mott's mix. And along with some other stuff. Oh, including an ammo slot item that's gonna give us Treasure Hunter +1. And it's also a reference to a long-term thing. Also, looks like each and every mission is giving us 20,000 gold. That's pretty cool. And an interesting ring. That looks kind of weird. Interesting. And apparently at some point it's going to require that we've beaten all of Treasures of Atargan, which obviously we already did, so it's not going to be hard at all. Also, it looks like there's a lot of joke weapons it's giving to us, it looks like. We're going to have access to additional Records of Eminence objectives too, it looks like. Oh, and we're going to get a really good neck piece. That's going to be amazing. Maybe even a couple of really good neck pieces? Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. I hope that we're going to be able to beat this far. Wow. That's some crazy awesome stuff. Crazy awesome stuff. But it'll have to wait. So anyway, thanks for watching. Stay safe and have a great day. And I'll see you again next time.